No one's safe from these people. The sky is the limit with their hubris and their imperial arrogance and the chutzpah, the machismo, whatever you want to call it. Okay, the globalists got it. They're bold. They're in charge because they are bold. They will blow up 3 buildings in front of you and tell you men in caves did it. Okay, I wish it wasn't an inside job, but the truth is the truth is the truth. Okay, it is. Now, here are the firefighters. Here's the latest clip that NIST had been suppressing, and there's now hundreds of these coming out. Thousands of videos total. Each one more bombshell than the last, confirming what all the other videos and testimony and radio chatter said. There were bombs going off in those buildings from the minute the planes hit and during the entire time in the lower floors below the basement. They were blowing the main supports. They were doing it in rolling explosions. Let's go to the tape.
What happened?
It was an explosion. It was in the lobby and the third explosion, the whole lobby collapsed on us.
What was it like? What was it like?
Horrible.
It's like hell. You don't want to know.
The whole building just collapsed on us inside the lobby.
Was that a secondary explosion?
Yes, it was.
That was the planet probably?
Yeah, definitely a secondary explosion. But we was inside waiting to go upstairs. And on the way upstairs, the whole thing blew. And we just collapsed on everybody inside the lobby.
Similar to the first tower coming down, secondary?
I don't know about the first one, but I know the second one, it was terrible. Then there was a third one, too, after that one.
Third explosion after that?
That's right. Everybody was inside the building, waiting to go upstairs, and they just let loose. Everything just let loose inside the building.
So what you tell me is that there was a plane or whatever hit the building, then a secondary explosion.
It was like 3 explosions after that. We came in after the fire. We came when the fire was going on already. We was in the staging area inside the building, waiting to go upstairs. And then it exploded. The whole lobby collapsed on the lobby inside.
And it's just mayhem after that?
Just man, everybody tried to work their way out.
Just trying to help all the brothers get out.
A lot of people trapped inside.
I was sitting in the Brooklyn Navy Yard across from Brooklyn. We watched the first explosion. As we were watching the buildings, I saw a black, very large airplane fly right into the second building. It came out of the south, right in front of our eyes. Just, it was so surreal, like a movie set. Second and third explosions also, right? We were in the building for the third one. It collapsed. I was on this drive here for the other one.
People don't understand. There may be more. Any one of these buildings could blow up. This ain't done yet.
How does this?
This is on the top of this. This could be no worse than this. Could be nothing no more worse than this. You're in the building trying to help people, and it's exploding on the inside the building. So I don't think we can get any worse.
That is 3 firefighters, one of them senior, who went into the North Tower exactly as Willie Rodriguez, the hero, said, and many others. Let me tell you, I've been with these firefighters. I've been with these police at bars and hotels, and when we've met with them, and they are shaking. They're looking over their shoulder. They tell me how they've been threatened. You notice, see, you can't have firefighters getting there too early. You can't have firefighters noticing bombs that are in the building. So you have it pre-planned when the main group gets in to get ready to go upstairs. This is before firefighters started going up. This is, 15 minutes or so into it. It's what Willie Rodriguez says, and that's exactly what they're saying. They go in, they're staging, and the lobby just starts blowing up. And the same thing happens in the other tower. And the same thing happens at 7. But 7's not hit by a plane, and the same thing happens. Because you can't have the police and fire people that aren't part of the attack going in and seeing what's happening. And then Rodriguez, while this is going on, he'd be, opening closets and opening doors, in the smoke, and he'd open it, and there'd be dead bodies, people who'd been killed, shoved in them.
And with that, all of a sudden, we're looking for another stairwell. Me and the lieutenant open the door, we find a body in this closet. We were like, what the heck is that? Where did this come from? Holy shit, what's going on here? Something's crazy going on.
Yeah, they were busy killing members of the teams that had been there that day who they didn't want to know what was going on. That's always what happens. You kill a lot of the assassins. Remember the former deputy head of the FBI, Mr. O'Neill, who had been fired from the FBI and told British newspaper, The Telegraph, quote, they're going to let al-Qaeda attack to get a police state in America and attack Afghanistan. He was then hired as the new head of security, and his first day at work was September 11th, and he died in the towers.
Then I read about John O'Neill.
maverick counterterrorism expert in the FBI, O'Neill tracked Osama bin Laden since 1995. He knew more about Osama than anyone in the world. Tracked him past the embassy bombings in '98, Cole bombing in 2000. He knew more about Osama and Al-Qaeda than anyone in the world. Isn't that interesting? And O'Neill, he got into some trouble. His investigations into terrorism were blocked from up on high. Blocked by whom? In the summer of 2001, he resigned as deputy director of the FBI. At the same time, he was publicly opposed to the anti-terrorism policies of President George W. Bush. On September 10th, 2001, he started his new job with a company called Kroll Associates as head of security at the World Trade Center. A day later, he was dead, a victim of the September 11th terrorist attack. The World Trade Center. Come on! The FBI's top counterterrorism expert, who after chasing bin Laden for 6 years just happened to take a job in the private sector. He's murdered in an internationally televised terrorist attack, blamed on his arch nemesis. Killed by his arch nemesis. How ironic. Coincidence? Fate? Or conspiracy? Conspiracy. Why did O'Neill start working at the World Trade Center? Why were his investigations into Al-Qaeda stopped? Who arranged for him to get his new ill-fated job? I know the answers to these questions now. None of them have anything to do with Osama bin Laden. The more you look at the whole and not just the pieces, you don't know anything. The more you understand what really happened. John O'Neill is the key. Look into John O'Neill. Kroll Associates, Brian Jenkins, Jerome Howard. Look for John O'Neill. He's the key. Michael Cherkasky, you ever looked into the LAPD? Why don't you go back to the end? Robert Mueller, John O'Neill's investigations on there. See what cases they found. Bureau of Investigation. Go back and look at Robert Mueller and Cont. Back and look at CIA, Bratton, John Miller, World Trade Center building number 7. Guess where they found out that Osama wanted to World Trade Center building number 7. You want to know where that came from? 126. John Miller. It was on federal bunker office. Guess who? John federal agencies. John O'Neill, great friends. Guess who? Jerome Howard, Brian Jenkins, Michael Howard, William Bratton, Jerome Howard. Everybody having a guy who got John O'Neill his job at the World Trade Center. You'll know everything.
Now, here's Barry Jennings down the street after he gets out of Building 7. Hours and hours. Let me see. This is after 9 o'clock. It collapses at 5:30. This is 8 hours plus before Building 7 falls. Here's Barry Jennings, the deputy head of emergency management, who didn't get the memo to be down with Giuliani at the new command center because they pulled out of the building. Here he is telling you what he saw. Here's Barry Jennings.
Barry Jennings, you were on the 8th floor. You work for the city housing department. Explain to me the moment of impact.
Well, me and Mr. Hesh, the corporation counsel, were on the 23rd floor. I told him we got to get out of here. We started walking down the stairs. We made it to the 8th floor. Big explosion. Blew us back into the 8th floor. And I turned to Hesh. I said, this is it. We're dead. We're not going to make it out of here. I took a fire extinguisher and I bust the window out. That's when this gentleman here heard my cries for help. This gentleman right here, and he kept saying, stand by, somebody's coming to get you. They couldn't get to us for an hour because they couldn't find us.
You thought that was it?
I thought we're dead. I thought that was it. I started praying to Allah. I said, that's it. We're gone. It's over.
What was it like for you? You were inside there as well.
It was pandemonium. I mean, it was something like out of a Bruce Willis Die Hard movie. He was there and he was crying, and there was another gentleman crying and for help. We couldn't get to him. We tried to get through we went through the buildings. We were lost. Both staircases, the backside was completely blown away. There was no way to access us. We couldn't get to them. And finally, one of the fire department teams found them. But we didn't think they were going to make it.
That's Building 7 before it collapsed. Now, that's in the morning. Now, they've now released NIST footage of Jennings and Hess, the head of emergency management, screaming for help, confirming the other witness.
Mr. Hess! Watch out. Mr. Hess!
5 will.
I'll pass the word. I'll try and get word.
7 World Trade. I'll fall in.
What floor?
That's Mr. Cassie's Corporation Counsel.
What floor? What?
8th floor.
8th floor, 7 World Trade. 7.
And they've released audio that you can hear on the video of explosions going on. I mean, nothing's hit 7. There's a few windows knocked out from some small debris. Suddenly, boom, whole side of the building's blowing out. Then NIST gave 6 different reasons why 7 fell. Now they've had to retract all those, and they don't say why it fell. I mean, it's all there. People say, well, something this big, it would come out. It did come out. I've interviewed the police, the firemen, who saw the countdown to blow up Building 7 years before somebody at CNN leaked, because people hadn't captured or forgotten about it, live CNN saying, get back. They're going to blow up Building 7. It's coming down. Keep your eye on that building. Exactly what Craig Bartmer and other police officers told me to my face. Literally shaking in New York, looking over their shoulder. You think they like this stuff? But see, there's the big lie offered. Don't believe in 9/11 truth. It's communists that believe it. You know, out of the full spectrum of top Japanese officials, former German defense head, former head of German intelligence, former head of Italian intelligence, former Italian president coming out saying 9/11's an inside job. I mean, do they talk about any of them on the news? No, they'll go pick some guy like Van Jones who signed a petition for a new investigation and then decried 9/11 truth and say, see, if you are for 9/11 truth, you're a communist. The system is hoping and putting all their money on the fact that you'll just get scared of talking about 9/11 truth. They're hoping with every ounce of energy that they've got that you won't look at the evidence, or if you learn the evidence, you'll just shut up so they can stage more terror attacks. That's their agenda, and take our freedoms and take our rights and put this high-tech electronic jackboot straitjacket over our society. That's what's happening. So, 9/11 being an inside job is hidden in plain view. And they hope you're delusional and weak-minded and that choose to not look at the evidence, choose to not believe it. You can't choose what reality is. If you stick your finger in a light socket, you're going to get shocked. If you jump in boiling water, you're going to get burned. If you pour gasoline on yourself and light yourself on fire, you're going to get burned. If you let foreign banks come in and issue tens of trillions of fiat currency and buy up the planet, you're going to be enslaved. It's all happening.